let's watch what Morgan Stewart Mcgraw eats in a day. Now, I know Morgan from her Rich Kids of Beverly Hills days. Am I potentially showing my age? Yes, I am. But she's also done a lot of presenting work over the years.
The first thing I do when I wake up is I nudge my husband awake. He's on coffee duty, so I nudge him awake, and then he makes me a cappuccino with lots of whole milk, no nut milk, no like fake, just real whole milk from a cow. And then I have this like Godiva chocolate powder that I sprinkle all over it in like a huge mug, and I drink that in bed and cannot move unless I have some sort of caffeine. Like, I'm not that person that's like up drinking lemon water and like stretching. I'm like, I'm exhausted. Please give me caffeine. Then I'm up.
30 seconds in, she might have won me. I love how she's like, I'm having my cappuccino. Who have we ever heard say that? And she's having regular milk. I also found it really relatable. We've seen a lot of celebrities recently talking about lemon water. Morgan's like, no, I need my caffeine. I'm in bed. I'm not getting up and stretching. She's won my heart already.
I don't always eat first thing in the morning. My husband gets coffee, then we get the kids, and then we make them breakfast. And they're like huge into yogurt and berries with almond butter, stuff like that. And then I'm usually like making myself food after they've already eaten, because it's just too much food making and too much chaos happening. My son's throwing his water bottle for the 14th time. Ro is like squawking and like demanding something. So it's just like better to get them fed and situated before I feed myself.
Now, I'm not a parent of a human. I'm a parent of a fur baby. Can we just take a moment for the sheer peace of my child? I also love that he's fallen asleep to the sound of my voice. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But I think if you're a parent to small humans, that's actually probably really relatable. Like, you need to sort the kids first, get them situated, somebody's throwing their water bottle, other one's squawking. I think many folk can probably really relate to that.
Typical breakfast is I will scramble 2 eggs and I'll have avocado or maybe just berries on the side. I've really had to start to incorporate the on the go. So like I'll always have some sort of snack in my bag because I've been faint one too many times and I just can't deal with that anymore. But if I'm like abroad or somewhere, like I'm staying at a hotel, I probably won't order room service, but I'll order some sort of croissant or some sort of like cinnamon roll or something completely unhealthy to wake me up because I think it's fun.
So we're seeing a couple of different breakfasts there. We're seeing her breakfast that she has at home, and then we're seeing her breakfast that she has maybe when she's on the go or when she's on vacation. Breakfast at home, we saw some protein, we saw some fats. She didn't mention carbs, and like I've talked about before, we do love carbs over here. And ideally at meals, we want to see carbs, fat, and protein in every single meal. Like I've said so many times, it really is personal preference. In my diet culture heydays, DCHD, I don't think that's going to catch on. I really did omit carbs, but now my go-to breakfast is cinnamon and raisin nooks and crannies English muffin, peanut butter, although if you've been here before, you know I prefer almond butter, and over almond butter I prefer sunflower butter, but the household doesn't always agree with me on that, so we meet in the middle of peanut butter. But I love that Morgan said that she will order a croissant or a cinnamon roll, and that's something that she really enjoys as well. She did label those as unhealthy, and I've talked about this before. What is healthy for one person may not be healthy for another, and I know it's really common for folk to refer to foods as healthy and unhealthy, but it's not always beneficial. When I was really in the midst of my dieting days, I was having what society would absolutely call healthy. But in actuality, it was not healthy for me to be having those kinds of foods. And what would have been healthier for me was to have things that society labels as unhealthy. And it really is different for everybody.
Then for lunch, I would probably have lunch around 12:30 or 1. It depends if I'm at home again and I'm like doing a day at home with my kids. Like I'll grill myself a piece of chicken and then I'll do like a cup of white rice with that, some sort of greens, either salad or asparagus if I have time to do that. That's when I'm being like really healthy and really on. If I'm out, I would have probably pasta. If I'm gonna eat out, I wanna eat delicious things. I don't wanna eat healthy if I'm going to a restaurant. I just don't think that's necessary. I'll eat healthy at home. I don't really order lunch, but I guess my husband randomly ordered me Goop Kitchen yesterday, the teriyaki bowl that I have never had before, and that was delicious. I guess we order tender greens sometimes if I don't want to make something that's healthy, like we'll just order chicken or something quickly.
I love the variety we saw with her lunch. If she was cooking at home, we saw carbs, fat, and protein with the chicken and the white rice and the asparagus. Also, I'm a huge fan of white rice. I hate how white rice has been demonized of late on social media and in the fitness world, blah, 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 blah. I cannot fathom how long I didn't eat white rice. In fact, I'm pissed off that I didn't eat white rice for so long. And I missed out on my grandmother's kabuli pilau for so flipping long. And now, not to be too morbid, but she's no longer with us, so I can no longer have it. I also appreciate that she was like, if I'm going to a restaurant, I'm going to order something that I really like and enjoy. And she mentioned having pasta. Again, huge pasta fan. I told myself for the longest time that I didn't like pasta and white rice. Told myself for the longest time, no, I don't like these, and so I wouldn't have them. Those were lies, Laura. And I love to see them incorporated in somebody's what I eat in a day, because I feel like we're on the same level, Morgan. She did talk about ordering from Goop Kitchen, which is Gwyneth Paltrow's kind of takeaway food place. And that's where you can buy salad dressings that are GCC certified, which stands for Goop Certified Clean, which has about as much relevance as something being Bobby approved. If you know, you know.
McDonald's in France, or Europe, I would assume, is so much better. For a snack, I was never a snack person, but now that I have kids, I snack all day long. I have these like Stretch Island fruit roll-ups that my kids eat that like are not good for you, but for some reason we have thousands of them, and I eat those all day long. Oh, you know what I love? I love a trail mix these days, but like with dried cranberries, where I get my Botox, you have these little packages of that in case you feel faint, and I eat all of them. I love a dried cranberry.
I loved all of this. I love that we included snacking, cooking. I love that she's not afraid to talk about fast food. It's just very relatable. She's like, these foods are available to me, I'm gonna eat them. I do love dried cranberries. I can't think of a dried fruit that I don't like. My favorite though, and I can never ever find them, is dried mulberries. If somebody can point me in the direction of where dried mulberries are, I will be eternally grateful. She's not poo-pooing snacking, in fact encouraging snacking, and that she's snacking on her kids' snacks too. Again, something that I think is probably really relatable for parents, that like you just eat what's there, right? You just got to get through the day as efficiently and as fed as possible.
My daughter, I literally only ate stuffed shells for like 5 months. My husband made them. They're literally this big, and he stuffed them with ricotta cheese, and I don't even like cheese.
Morgan doesn't like cheese.
I can eat cheese on pizza, but like crumbly or like cheese on, I can't do that.
I've never had a stuffed shell. I love ravioli, but I've never had a stuffed pasta shell. God, where have I been?
Dinner we usually eat at like probably 6:45, 7. I would love to eat at 5:30 with my children, but my husband is like, we're not eating at 5:30. We have to eat after they eat.
This might make you unfollow me. I'm also incredibly embarrassed that people I know in real life are gonna hear what I'm about to say as well. We are dinner at approximately 4:30 to 5 o'clock every single day. Feel free to judge. Don't even get it twisted. It's not an intermittent fasting thing. I would tell you if I had ventured down that path. That's a hard no. It is because I'm in bed by 7 p.m. every single night. Is this because I get up quite early? Yes, it is. So that's why we have our dinner so early. We have dinner earlier than Morgan's children.
It really is sort of that consistent debate of like, are we having steak? Are we having salmon? Are we ordering sushi? Are we going out to dinner? My husband's actually an amazing chef, so he'll make whatever I want. He'll make tacos sometimes. We'll do like a roasted chicken. He's one of those people that will make it for the first time and it's like delicious and perfect. But we're kind of really heavy on like the protein or fish with like some sort of green on the side if we're being healthy. I'm not the best cook. It's not my strong suit. But everything I make well. I can make amazing eggs. It's not easy to make eggs, okay? I don't like fluffy eggs. I like them more burnt, especially sunny side up, really burnt around the edges. Every time I order them in the restaurant, they don't do it right. They're like burnt. I'm like, burnt, crispy, breaking off. I can make pasta, chicken, salmon. I make amazing lamb chops randomly. The best lamb chops you've ever had. I'm not kidding.
What I'm really appreciating seeing is just the variety. So whether it be the fish, the steak, the tacos, pasta, whatever it is. But Morgan's giving us variety and I'm here for it.
For dessert, I'm very like, I want a sundae with an obscene amount of hot fudge. No caramel because it's disgusting. I don't need a stupid cherry. I don't want nuts. I just want like vanilla chocolate strawberry ice cream with like so much fudge. But I'm a sucker for a fruit dessert. So like I love a lemon tart. I love a raspberry tart. I love a chocolate eclair. I don't want like funfetti anything. And I don't want a cookie. A cookie is so much effort. It's almost like the fake dessert before you get to the real dessert. No late night snacks. I will drink all night and not have a late night snack. It's called growing up and being on top of it. Thanks, Harper's Bazaar. That is everything I eat in a day. And be sure to check out my socials. My Instagram's at Morgan Stewart and my TikTok at Morgan Mcgraw.
This was not what I expected. I didn't know much about Morgan, but I thought it was going to be more steeped in diet culture, wellnessy stuff. It feels like most, I was going to say female celebrities, but it actually feels like most celebrities from like the age of 30 up are kind of getting into wellness industry. And I thought that's what we were going to get from Morgan. I'm pleasantly surprised. We saw her having breakfast, lunch and dinner where she incorporated carbs, fat, protein. There wasn't any shame or stigma around food. There was no cheat meals. She did refer to foods as healthy and unhealthy, and I've talked about why I don't personally like that, but I know that is a really common thing for people to do. She talked about going out for dinner very often, which is a privilege, but it's lovely to see. And there was no shame around going out for dinner. I remember somebody did that before. They really were like a bit meh about going out for dinner. She also told us what desserts she enjoys. Actually, so much enjoyment around what Morgan was eating. We don't often see celebrities talk this way around food. I actually really appreciated this one.